So guys, today I want to just, when I started this channel, I never introduced myself well to my viewers. And so many people just found themselves starting to watch my content. They don't know who I am. They don't know why I started this channel. They don't know anything about me. And it is never too late, like they normally say. And I think it was about time that I sit down and introduce myself officially to my viewers, all those people who have subscribed to the channel, and all the people who are going to watch my content from now onwards. It's important you know who you are listening to, who you're watching, so that as you see me go about my business, you know where I'm coming from and you know where I am going. And that is why I felt that it is very important for me to introduce myself officially to you through a series of stories about how far I have come, where I am, and where I intend to go. And this episode is going to be my introduction to you as a way of telling you where the journey, of course, began. I will stick to the most relevant parts of my story, and those relevant parts of my story begin, of course, at university, all the way to where I am today. When I think about my story to this day, I think it's important for me to mention where it started. The year was 2015. Around April. It's 2 months away. I think it was a month away to my graduation. Not graduation, but a month away for me to complete my university education. Our curriculum ended in April, and then we were supposed to wait all the way to December for us to be able to graduate as per my university calendar. So the month is April. I have 1 month to go and I'll be out of the university in 2015. And after that, of course, I am supposed to start thinking of how I'm going to start life. Now, I remember back then when we were in university, there were so many, everyone was just going about their business. Other people looked busy, some people looked idle, there were those who were just confused, there were those who were focused and they just made you think twice about what you're doing in your life. There is everything in the university. At the university, you experience all manner of people. And I think that is why it's very important for people to go through that. Even if you don't come out of it with anything, the kind of life exposure you get there, it really makes you see, it molds you. The university makes you understand some elements of life that you will never have understood in your father's house. It also brings you to a place where you face life. You face life with your bare knuckles. It is the first time in your life where you have all the freedom to do what you want, and it's the first time you're testing your limits. You're testing how far you can go into doing things without anyone really monitoring, without anyone controlling, and without anyone caring. So I was one of those people. Of course, now we are thinking, hey, the university is coming to an end, and what will happen after university? Now, during those times, there were corporate companies that were coming to school. They were trying to inform people, just creating awareness of their companies, what they do, and people were interested. Of course, everyone is excited to just go and listen, because you never know, these people could be coming with opportunities. And how much better can your story be than leaving university and getting a job immediately? So those people kept coming. So many companies kept coming to the university to just give people a brief of what they do and career opportunities that are available to fresh graduates. So to be honest, I don't know whether I was just not aware, or I was just not interested, or I was just a student who had lost focus. because I never attended those things. While people were creating a lot of time to attend some of those things, I was out there. Now, the only good thing is that I was not out there doing anything bad. I was out there pursuing my interests. I had so many interests back in the university that it kept me busy most of the time. I was a basketball player, I still am, and I've always enjoyed sports. For me, sports have always been a passion. So while people were attending those things, I spent a lot of my time playing. And I would travel to go join my team, which was in somewhere else. And we will play, and then I will come back later tired. I just want to sleep. And of course, I will hear people have conversations around how the day was, how this company came, how they have taken names of people who they are going to potentially employ and all that. Of course, I will feel bad that I missed, because what if that was my opportunity to get a job? And then one day, as I was in class, I remember, now just let me take you back a bit. I was in the University of Nairobi, but I was also at the same time at Strathmore University pursuing different things. But at Strathmore University, we had a lecturer by the name James Boyd McPhee. It was called McPhee, yes. This lecturer kept challenging us in class, and he kept telling us how every time you do something wrong, he will tell you how with that kind of a character, you will not be able to join the best companies to work for. You will never be able to join PricewaterhouseCoopers. PricewaterhouseCoopers can never tolerate that kind of behavior. Deloitte and Touche can never tolerate that kind of behavior. Why are you late? You're not even able to answer this very simple question. How are you going to be allowed into a company like Deloitte and Touche? So those kind of words kept ringing in my mind back in Strathmore. So I said that when I came back to the University of Nairobi, and I will hear people talk about how these companies have come and all that, I will feel bad that I was not part of it. But at the back of my mind, I kept telling myself, all these other companies, they are nothing compared to the companies that James Boyd McPhee used to mention. So at the back of my mind, I knew that the only companies worth working for after university is the audit firms. I'll be very honest. I was an accounting student. I was, of course, an economic student at the University of Nairobi. But before James Boyd McPhee mentioned those names, I didn't know them. Like I said, I don't know whether I had lost so much focus or what, but I didn't know those companies. It is him who made me start looking into those companies to try and understand what do they do. Yeah, I will just call it lack of exposure. And when I remember now, I told myself at one point when I was in school, so that I don't feel so much guilt for not attending these sessions that people are attending, let me go online and just check some of these companies that McPhee was mentioning. And I am sure if I get an opportunity, I'll just apply. So I go to the library, Jomo Kenyatta, it's called JKML, Jomo Kenyatta Memorial Library at the University of Nairobi. And then I go there. For people who are there, it is a very big library. And sometimes, I don't know why, but so many times you will not find what you're looking for. But the library was big, and it could accommodate so many people. And one of the things that I was looking for was internet. I was at the university, I didn't have enough internet. So I will go there, but somehow all the computers were just fully booked. All the computers always had people. But this one time I got an opportunity. I went very early, and then I just went and started Googling. I Googled Deloitte and Touche. I Googled PricewaterhouseCoopers. I Googled KPMG. And that was the first time that I was interacting with the Big Four. Now, when I looked at the websites, the kind of language, the kind of pictures that you're looking at online, the kind of communication that is being sent out, I could tell that these companies are serious companies. They are not your typical companies, even though I had not interacted with any. But I could see people in suits. I could see stories of success. I could see things like Central Bank. I could see they were just mentioning big companies and all that. And a part of me immediately took up that challenge, that I've always believed in myself. And I told myself that I am going to work for these companies. My first opportunity is going to be one of these companies. I don't know how I am going to do it. I know I have been told before by my lecturer that it is tough, that not everybody goes to these companies, but I'm going to try. On that day, I went online and I started applying. I saw this opportunity for fresh graduates coming from university. I just made sure that I applied in all those. Now, if you've been in any African country, of course, and Kenya is one of them, you always believe that you don't get anything unless you know someone. I'll be very honest, I knew no one in those companies. I just went and applied, and I just told God, and I remember praying over that computer, that desktop computer in the JKML library. I told God, if this is what you want for me, then make it happen. And I applied, and I went and sat back. Now, I remember the kind of phone that I had back then, I could not access my emails from my phone very well. So what I had to do, I had to come to the library every single day to just check my emails to confirm that they sent back a communication, have they responded. And I kept going, first day, second day. I think they took after like 3 days they responded, confirming that they have received my application, which was good enough. The fact that they responded, that was enough to tell me that I've passed the first step. I'm telling you, when you're looking for a job, even the appreciation that someone has acknowledged that they have received your message is good enough to keep the hope alive. So once I received that, I kept waiting. I just kept moving on with my business. Like I said, I never attended any careers, whatever they used to call them. I never attended any when in university. I didn't attend any, and I made only 3 applications to PricewaterhouseCoopers, to KPMG, and to Deloitte & Touche. And that was it. So I kept waiting. And then I think a week after that, I went and checked. And I found 3 messages. And all the 3 messages came from all the 3 companies. Company number 1 was PricewaterhouseCoopers. It was a regret. They regretted that I didn't qualify, and they sent me the message. I took it in as a man, and I said, 2 more to go. I clicked the next one, Deloitte & Touche. It was a regret. I took it in as a man. I said 1 more to go. I went to the 3rd email, and voila, KPMG had acknowledged and had accepted my invitation for the next stage. One thing I've always known about myself, I just need to be in the room where I am allowed to be part of the interview process, where before I interact with people, behind the computers, behind the applications, you are not interacting with anyone. So your odds are as good as how well your CV looks like. So I just needed to know that, can I be able to find myself in a room where there are people, and I know 100% I will be able to convince them that I deserve that job. So I got that response. I was over the moon. And at that particular point, no one had told me that, this is just the start. My friend, to get a job in a Big 4 firm is a journey. And I remember that journey started, my first email I received as a confirmation made me think that I have already gotten the job. I was so happy. I sent a confirmation immediately to say that I will be there, because they were inviting me for the first stage. And there are like 4-5 stages still ahead. I didn't know that. I just thought that the fact that they have invited me, I'm already in. Now, later on, you'll come to know how far that story went. But for now, just know that I received the first confirmation from KPMG and I was elated. I was happy. I responded to that email and went out from the library immediately, because guess what I was going to do to inform the rest of the people. And to this day, I thank God, I thank KPMG for acknowledging and receiving my application and giving me that opportunity to go and attend the next session. Now, people who know where I eventually ended are already asking me, but how did you end up to this other company then if you didn't qualify as an annual graduate recruitment trainee? So after I received that, then I remembered that back in church, I was very outgoing. I have always been outgoing. And I knew that my outgoing nature has built a social capital in me that can enable me to open some doors that maybe I could not have opened. And as a matter of fact, I approached one of my church members and I told them, you know what? I know you have worked in some of these companies before, and I am now done. I'm now done with school. And if you don't mind, you can refer me to someone you know who I'm ready for anything, an internship, just an attachment, anything that you can, as long as I start that journey. And that's why I always say it's very good to be in good terms with people. Especially, I don't know about you guys, but the church. The church is the neutralizer. Within the church has all manner of people. The church has CEOs, the church has teachers, the church has business people, the church has HR professionals. The church is the one place that everyone goes. And if your social capital in church is good enough and you have interacted with people well, trust me, one of those people will open a door for you. Because I had spent so much time in church and I knew so many people in church, and one of them, I approached him and he was gracious enough and he received my request and he sent my CV. It just so happened that he sent my CV when the company was also looking for interns. It was not actually an internship, it was actually a job opportunity. So he sent my CV. And that is how and then he sent my CV, and within 2 days I was called for an interview. Guess which company? Deloitte and Touche, the same company that I had not qualified to go for the annual graduate recruitment. And I understood, because the graduate recruitment is a separate thing from a direct job opportunity. People who've worked in these companies will tell you they're not the same things. Yeah, like graduate recruitment, they're recruiting you to train you, to prepare you for bigger roles, in management, and so they're basically building a personnel that is going to take over the management of some of these big clients, because you can't just get someone from any random company and trust them to run with some of these things. That's why it's important you get fresh graduates, you build them in your way, in your culture, in the culture, you train them in the culture of the organization, so that as they go out there, they represent the company. While a job opportunity, other job opportunities will be like, if you are going in as a HR professional, you can survive, you can succeed there even if you came from another company. So it will be easier. It is not easy to get people who are trained in the company way if they're coming in at the mid-level or something of that kind. So at that particular point, I had 2 opportunities to run with. Yeah. Now, if you want to know what happened, please, this is a whole journey, and that is just the first part. Please subscribe to this channel, like, share, and then let's pick it up from there on how I eventually ended up getting the job from one of these companies and I started my career. Thank you very much and welcome again to my channel. I look forward to your viewership.